Now welcome back my dear class 12 student. This is a class of business studies and today we will discuss about case study. The chapter and the chapter staffing. Now many times you can see the different case studies is come from different chapter, and case study is very important as per your CBSE board exam concern and business studies actually subject. So here I will take a case study and how can we solve that we will actually discuss today. So major, suppose a case is given by the it was come 4 to 5 years before in your CBSE exam, that major insurance company handle its own recruiting. So a major insurance company, they are talking about a insurance company, they handle its own recruiting, screening and training process for data entry customer service representatives. Okay, for data entry they actually want to recruit some people for the insurance company handle by their own. They do not actually depend upon any other job agency or paper advertisement or other process. Okay. So their competitor was attracting most of the qualified potential employees in their market. So their recruiting was made even more difficult by the strong economy and the job seekers market. This resulted in the client having to choose from candidates who had the soft skill needed for the job. So soft skill is there also needed apart from the data entry, but lacked the proper hard skill and training. Okay. So as an HR manager, what problems do you see in the company? So as if you are a HR manager of this insurance company, what problem would actually, how do you see in the, what problems, how do you see in the company? How do you think it can be resolved? So what is the problem? Now first, there is an insurance company who actually handled by its own recruiting, screening and training process for the data entry and customer service representative. Their competitor was attracting most of the qualified, who are the competitor of the, there is different insurance company in the market, and so they are the competitor of this insurance company. The name of the insurance company not given in the case study. So, but they are actually attracting the other insurance company, actually qualified potential employees in the market. Okay. So recruiting was made nowadays very difficult by as the economy is very strong and jobs, now there is a job seekers market. So this resulted in the client having to choose from candidates who had the soft skill needed for the job but lacked the proper hard skill and training. Okay. So they actually want to take data entry and customer service representative. So they had to choose from the who has a soft skill for the job but lacked a proper hard skill. Main skill they needed, that is data entry. Okay. So if you are a HR manager of that company, then how do you see this problem? That is the first question. Second is, how do you think it can be resolved? What is the process you can resolve it? Now first answer you just write, that is, as an HR manager I can see that the company has not established a formal human resource department. So there is no human resource department with specified people to handle hiring and training of people. Okay, the organization does not have specialized people with appropriate experience and skill to perform specific job. So this is the problem you actually sorted out, that there is no human resource department in this company, and so there is no specialized people who has who can train the people or who are specialized in data entry procedure or this customer service. Okay, so that is the problem actually they find. How they can resolve it? Second question is, how do you think it can be resolved? So to resolve the problem, company must establish a human resource department to take care of recruitment and selection. So first they should establish a human resource department to take care of recruitment and selection. Okay. Next is they may use placement agencies. So they can use the placement agencies or management consultant to appoint capable people. They are recruiting their own, but there is no specialized people who can recruit this customer service employees. So in at that time they may use placement agencies who are actually specialized of this recruitment or management consultant to appoint capable people. Now third is they must conduct written test. They should conduct written test to evaluate knowledge and other technical skill of potential employee. So they should, whenever they are making selection, first they should take a written examination and also see the technical skill, that is data entry, what is the data entry speed of the candidate. Okay. Now next solvable solution can be they must organize appropriate training program. So as there are no very good trainer in the company, and there is the candidate who actually comes to and seeks the job, they are not very trained people. So they must organize appropriate training program to enhance the hard skill so that the employer equipped with required skill. So training is needed is there, and after training they must organize appropriate training program and other technical skill of that is hard skill so that employer equipped with required skill. So that's the way you have to solve the case study. There is a problem given by the question and you have to solve. The knowledge you have gathered from this chapter, you can utilize your brain, and through that you can solve this. That is one of the example I have already given you. Now another type of problem that you can face, that is also come to your examination. A public transport corporation, that is another case study. A public transport corporation means the government undertaking corporation, that the managed by the government. The public transport corporation has hired 1000 buses for the different routes for the passenger of a metropolitan city. Metropolitan city means just like Kolkata, that is metro city. Most of the 3000 crew means driver, conductor, helper, etc. of these buses have been found to be wanting in satisfactorily dealing with public and daily commuters. For the daily passenger, this crew actually they recruited is 3000 crew actually in these buses have been found to be, they want to satisfactorily dealing with the public. So they seem to the little interest in the job, and the job seems to have lost all meaning to them. But actually they are not very interested in the job, and the job seems to have loss, but there is no interest for the job. As you see in a government buses, the conductors many times do not ask you to have a ticket, or whether if you ask them that this bus will go that route or not, this place or not, they many of times they didn't answer about that also. So here the question they asked, that is, as manager of the public transport company, what measure do you suggest to improve the working of queue in question? Okay, as a manager of this public transport company, what measure actually do you take or do you suggest to improve the working of queue, what the driver, helpers working in that buses, how you can, their job in a question, how can improve that? So it is possible. And now second is it possible to modify their behavior by planning a suitable type of training? there is a possible to their changing their behavior, so they should behave with the good with the commuters of the buses. Now suggest 1. So that is the problem. The Public Transport Corporation has hired 1000 buses for passenger metropolitan city. Most of the 3000 crew is there, and these buses have been found to be wanting in satisfactory dealing with public and daily commuters. Why they actually take the buses, that this crew should behave well in the commuters, but actually the crew members of these buses is little interested in the job, as they know this is a government job. Whatever I have done, my job will not be, I will not be fired. That how they actually started misbehaving, and sometimes they are very ignorant about things, and they are not working properly. So what is the solution you have to make as a manager of this transport company, and is it possible to modify them, their behavior? You should suggest. Okay, now first answer will be the crewmen of buses need to deal with the public, so therefore it is a must that they are well trained in public relation. So first all the crew member, you have to give training for the how to you make the relation with public. To improve the working and thinking of the crew, there should be scheduled training programs. So you should arrange a scheduled training programs with regular review session or for the crew. Okay. Now second question is it possible to modify their behavior? So this is the answer of the first question. As a manager of the public transport company, what measure do you suggest to improve the working of crew in question? Okay, now this is your suggestion. That suggestion should be the crewmen of the buses need to deal with the public, so therefore it is a must that they are well trained in public relations. To improve the working and thinking of the crew, there should be scheduled training programs with regular review session for the crew. Okay. Now next question they ask, is it possible to modify their behavior by planning a suitable type of training? Now second, yes, it is entirely possible to modify their behavior through training. Training will help them to learn the importance of positive public relation and its direct effect on their performance also. So you can say yes, it is entirely possible through training, and training will help them to learn the importance of positive public relation and its direct effect on their performance. Now the main types of training program the company may adopt, you can also suggest that what type of training program they can adopt. So team building workshop, you should arrange a team building workshop. Okay, team building workshop is there. Audio visual presentation to show the effect of positive and negative behavior. You can use the audio visual presentation how your behavior is affected actually the public service, public transport corporation. Now coaching to make the crew aware. So you should appoint a coach to make the crew aware about the ethos of the organization they represent. What the organization they represent, what is the motive of the organization, for that you can appoint a coach and motivate the crew member, and that's the way you can improve the behavior of this crew member. Okay, now come to the another chapter, that is financial market. Okay, so in financial market, therefrom you can also, there is some case studies there, but most of the time the case study is very big. Okay, now I am just here I am taking a short example. Actually, short type question sometime marks. 1 marks question can be based on a case study. So here is a 1 marks question. Suppose that is from financial market chapter actually. Financial market. Okay, this chapter already completed. So from what actually learned from this chapter, what is your concept building or not, that will tested by the case study most of the time. So here is a one short case study actually given for the 1 marks question. So Mr. X, one of the directors of XYZ Limited, knew that bonus share were to be announced in the next meeting and he expected the price to rise. Now you first know what is bonus share. Bonus share is a free share given to the existing shareholder who are the, suppose you are holding 1000 share of the particular company, suppose XYZ Limited company. So the director actually decides about how much, what amount of bonus share, how much bonus share actually gives to the shareholder. Now they suppose decided for 1 share they will give 1 bonus share, for 1000 share we will give another 1000 bonus share. So as the bonus share announced, there is a very moment there is a chance to rise the price of this company's share, because most of the who are the actually very much accustomed with the stock exchange or share market, they know and they started to buy if they as the moment they get the information about the company will give the bonus share, because as soon as they purchase the actually the share of this particular company, so they are also the debenture they are also the shareholder. Okay, so they are also take this opportunity. So the as many of the investor actually invest in this particular company, so there is always a chance the price to rise. Okay, so he bought, the director actually in that case Mr. X, one of the director of XYZ Limited, knew the bonus share were to be announced in the next meeting, means he knew about that and he expected the price to rise. As simple, he bought 10,000 share. The director bought the 10,000 share. By the end of a few weeks, the price increased by rupees 9. So there is a 9 rupees increase of the price. Suppose the price of the company was 100, now it is, as soon as there is a expectation, this still not announced, but the director is the actually company's board of the directors, they actually handle the total, in the case of company, board of director actually the management body of the company. The owner is just only for the investor. Okay. Now he sold his share and made a huge profit. Okay. So name the act of Mr. X. Is it permitted? So Mr. X is a director, he can actually buy their own, which company he is actually director, that company share can he buy? So that question first they asked. Now second is what value is lacking in him. Okay. So he lacking integrity, honesty, trustworthiness. So at that time, what is your answer? Now his honesty, he is not actually honest, he is dishonest, he is not trustable person, because the director actually cannot buy the shares, or he lacks of integrity also. Okay, so that will be the answer. Now second type of short type of case studies from this chapter. So, NSE, suppose NSE is the latest, most modern and technology driven exchange. You know that the NSE first actually started the all over the country one trading platform through the internet. Okay, it was set up by leading financial institution, bank and insurance and other financial intermediaries, and is managed by professionals. That is also you know. So, first state the objectives with which it was set up. What was the objective to set up the NSE? First you should tell that, and what value are looked upon by national exchange to serve the various stakeholders. An objective you already know. The objective of the NSE you already learned. That are the objective. That point you should be right. Only point, because this is short type of question for 2 marks for 3 marks only that can be. And what is the value looked upon by the national exchange to service? What type of service? That is equality, timeliness, safety. These are the main actually service provided, values actually provided by the National Stock Exchange to various stakeholders. Okay. So, this is the different short type of sometimes come case study for the different chapters of your business studies subject. So, that also you should go through different case study, because for CBSE exam I am again tell you that will be very important. The case study is very important. So, try to go through the case studies. Okay. So, thank you for today. That is all for today. We will again discuss in your classes from other chapter what will be the case study, and different case study we will discuss about. Thank you.